he qualified for not one, but two DLCs, and not in just one continent, but both of the ultra megatonic continents for Disney Lorcana.
What I could take from YuGiOh to Lorcana is how can I test and how can I find informations really efficiently, because I don't really want to spend like 24 hours again.
And I didn't feel so bad because after knowing that he's a pro player in YuGiOh, it's gonna be easy for him to pick this up.
During the gameplay, your hands get sweaty, and if you don't wash your hands, it builds up, and then your sleeves just get stickier faster.
I ask the competitive guests that we have in this podcast, especially the ones who are like finding ultra megatonic success on the scene.
So like really mad, and he won't grind the next season anymore, for example. The only thing that satisfies us right now is basically the win, or at least like the finals of a major.
Yeah, how's it going, everyone? My name is Loremeisters, and this is the Loremeisters podcast. For this week's episode, we have a professional YuGiOh player and the very first person to ever qualify for both Disney Lorcana Challenge in North America and Europe, Din Kang Pham. Kang started his journey in YuGiOh during the end of 2015. Since then, he has topped not just one, but 15 majors throughout his career in competitive YuGiOh. Nowadays, he competes in Lorcana and coaches in both Lorcana and YuGiOh. His favorite part of TCGs in general are traveling, meeting new people, making new friends, and performing in a competitive event. His hobbies are playing trading card games and cooking. Yeah, how's it going, everyone? We're finally here with Kang. I'm so excited for this. We've been trying to make this happen ever since he qualified for not one, but two DLCs, and not in just one continent, but both of the ultra megatonic continents for Disney Lorcana. And I'm so excited and grateful as well to be able to interview Kang for tonight. How are you doing?
Yo, what's up? I'm fine. Yeah, I'm really grateful to be here and talk to you about Lorcana and of course also my achievements.
Awesome. Is there anything you want to say to our audience, your fans, before we get started and dive deep into this?
Yeah, thank you guys for the support. I got many messages congratulating me for the achievements, and yeah, I'm really grateful for that, and I feel really welcomed in this community.
Awesome. Yeah, the Disney Lorcana community is one of the best communities I've ever been a part of, honestly. And having an ultra megatonic player like you, everyone is very happy to see someone at your caliber also participating on the highest level of competition in Lorcana. And I can't emphasize this more. After seeing your bio that you sent me that we did for the intro, right? You're just so consistent. You started YuGiOh 2015, and you already have, correct me if I'm wrong, 15, right? 15 top places on a major, and now you have two in Disney Lorcana, and that's just so consistent. Would you mind telling us some of your secret? Do you have like a special preparation for these stuff, or is this like a natural talent that you have?
Yeah, so in YuGiOh, the thing is you need to practice a lot. You need to what we like to call it basically full-time YuGiOh if you want to compete at the highest level, because the game itself has a really high skill ceiling, not only because the cards have like infinite card text, but also the interactions, the rulings. Like you need the basics need to be rock solid, and then on top of that you need to know the format, you need to know how people can react, because of course you can learn combos in YuGiOh by like spreadsheets, but it only brings you so far. And the most important thing is to know how you interact with each board and game state, and also how to know when your opponent's doing something different and reacting accordingly. So for that, you need to test a lot, so you will face all the situations, because in YuGiOh, something that's really difficult is to imagine like what game states exist, because there are so many. So sometimes you will find yourself in a situation that you never faced before in Yu-Gi-Oh, and that can be difficult. And that's where the great players will show their skill. So
Yeah.
what I could take from Yu-Gi-Oh to Lorcana is how can I test and how can I find information really efficiently, because I don't really want to spend like 24 hours again, 24/7 again on Lorcana like Yu-Gi-Oh, just because of time restrictions, of course. So I used the techniques that I use in Yu-Gi-Oh basically on Lorcana to have my learning curve like this, spiking up instead of like slowly growing like most people. And I think that's the biggest attribute right now, or like the biggest advantage I have over like, let's say, the average Lorcana player, because sometimes it's like their first TCG or something like that, and they're still learning how to test while testing, and they're still learning so many other things, like how to manage anxiety, how to manage yourself during like 9 rounds of this. Like we are always playing to 8 or 9 p.m., right? So like how to manage yourself at big majors and so on. And I already know that stuff, and yeah, that helps a lot. I can give you a small example. For example, when it comes down to card choices, I see many people in every game, of course, that let's say you have choice A and choice B, and they let their feelings decide. Like sometimes this card performed in this game, and then they had situations where this card performed and so on. And for me, I don't really care about this. I look at the face value of the card. So I look at, for example, why I decided to not play the big Sisu, which is quite a staple in Red Blue, right? Since set 4. I decided to not play because when I looked at the board states, or like at all the deck lists, I didn't even play against every single deck, but I looked at the deck list, and every single time I see a key character that has 3 or more attack strengths, let's say Beast or something, Beast or Robin Hood and so on. And I just realized also during my first test games that when I reached to the point where I could see Zoo, they already have like 1 or 2 of the 3 strength character.
Yeah.
So I just realized, wait, Sisu won't help me here, because if I'm behind, where Sisu would have helped me, no, sorry, if I am behind, Sisu cannot give me the comeback I need, and if I'm ahead, the Sisu will win me the game, but then at that point, every bot white will win me the game.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I want to prepare myself for the worst case and not for the better cases.
Yeah.
So I just said, okay, the Sisu is not necessary there. The only win con I need, well, actually the win con I need is the B prep. So I decided to run 4 B preps, and I would like to play the Sisu on top, but the minimum was 4 B prep for me. And for most people it was like 3, I think.
Yeah.
But for me it was like 100% at 4. I would have had played the Sisu, but I had no space, so I didn't play it in the end. But that's how I built my deck. I don't even play test that much, to be honest. I built my decks almost purely on theory, or like on scenarios I can see myself in.
Yeah.
Because testing in a card game, especially in Lorcana, where the variance is really high, to be honest, it's really difficult, because you need to run like 100 games or so to get let's say a good value, to evaluate the cards. If you talk to some pro players that had pixel-born experience, they will say they had like 1,000 games or so, right?
Yeah.
I didn't have the luxury of pixel-born. Like I started Lorcana right when pixel-born got shut down. So
Yeah.
that's how I approach the testing and the deck building. Of course, for set 5, I have to play a bit more, because I have never seen new decks and so on, or new cards, so I had to experience them once at least to start building only in my head. But yeah, that's how I approach it, and I think I got that from Yu-Gi-Oh, because in Yu-Gi-Oh I also play test with like standard list first to see how the combos and interactions work, and then from that on, I almost only like build in theory. I don't even play test anymore because I know that this cards work against against this game states, and that's enough for me.
Yeah. I remember when Pixelborn was still out. That was like one of the places that I went to practice as well. I got so much games, but I was in a big break in Lorcana in terms of just everything because I just had a baby. But when I returned, that's when Pixelborn shut down, and I'm glad that the webcam games started popping off. If you guys don't know, that's actually the first time I met Kang, and he was just starting Lorcana at the time, and I was streaming live, and my viewers were like, "Is that Kang from YuGiOh, the pro player?" And they're like, "Ask him, Earl, ask him." And so I asked him, and before I asked him, he already mentioned that he just started playing recently. And I lost the game. I lost the game to him, and I didn't feel so bad because after knowing that he's a pro player in Yu-Gi-Oh, it's gonna be easy for him to pick this up. But I still remember that time. It's much harder to test, obviously, in webcam games, and one of the reasons why it's just the games take much. It takes longer to start and to finish because there's a lot of physical things going. But I like what you said with that whole answer in terms of preparation, in terms of your experience as well. The thing is, like, I want to put on top of that, it's like once you learn how to get good or get better in a game, that process of becoming successful, you can use that on other things, and that's exactly what you did with Lorcana. It's not just that you were good in Yu-Gi-Oh, you're good at getting better on whatever card games you probably get interested in, and I like that you brought that into Lorcana. Now my question, when you're preparing for these events, is there any like special physical preparation, any rituals? Do you have a certain diet before going into to these events, or during the day? Is there something that you eat specifically for these events? Because I talked to Edmund about this, and usually people would have like, oh, this is what I would eat for breakfast, and then I kind of like pace myself, and he doesn't eat the whole day. Like, how about you? Like, what is your ritual?
So I don't have like special eating or drinking habits, but like I can talk a bit about like the tournament stuff. Like I do have rituals during the tournament. Basically, well, you can call them rituals, I think. So what I always do is washing my hands after each game. This has two reasons. First, I don't get ill that fast because interacting with opponents, you don't know if they are ill or not, or maybe not washing their hands on. So after each game, I wash my hands. And second, the second reason is when you play and interacting with your cards and so on, sometimes you have like sweaty hands or something, right?
Yeah.
And during the gameplay, your hands get sweaty, and if you don't wash your hands, it builds up, and then your sleeves just get stickier faster. So
Yeah.
what I like for my sleeves is they need to stay fresh for the best case, at least for the entire day. The reason why is in a game like Lorcana, shuffling is so important because we don't shuffle our decks in between interactions because we don't have searches. And we only have like looking at the top 4 cards, top 3 cards, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And putting them to the bottom. The newest one would be like Merlin, and I think Amethyst has some effects that can shuffle.
Yeah, and Minnie Mouse as well. You can search for a character.
Exactly, but nobody's playing that. So
yeah.
Right now we don't shuffle our deck. Meaning shuffling is important. It's really, really important. So what I always do is normally I shuffle at least 1 minute, like the ritual shuffle where you put the one half into the other half, right? Just shuffling like this. If we have enough time, I do it like 2 minutes. I just don't want to break. So the theory for like a poker deck is 7 or 8, shuffling 7 or 8 times with the river shuffle, like putting one half into the other half, is considered random. But the thing is, we don't shuffle that perfectly. So what I mean is, when you push the cards into each other, in the perfect case, the cards would be going like this.
Yeah.
Like from this pile and this pile, they will interlock like this.
Yeah, but it
And not
doesn't
like
happen like that all the
2
time.
or 3 next to each other. Our hands, like if you don't practice that shuffle, you won't shuffle perfectly. And I still cannot do it that well. So what I do is I just shuffle more often to counteract that I don't shuffle perfectly. So I just shuffle long enough. The problem about when your deck is sticky, you automatically shuffle less. That's like psychological, I would say, because people, like humans, if something is more difficult, you don't like to do it, right? Like you don't want to carry heavy bags. Like if you can carry something easier, you would do that, right? So of course you can counteract that by just forcing yourself to shuffle, but I don't like that. So like I just want to give myself an easier time. So my sleeves has to be smooth,
Fresh
so
and
I can
smooth.
do the 2. So I can do the 2-minute shuffle if needed. And that's why I also wash my hands. That's like which I always do, and always drink before the match and sometimes during the match, so my brain stays fresh too. Chewing gum is also really important for me, at least because I just keep my blood flowing by doing something.
Yeah.
What else? And yeah, I also kind of tend to not eat, but you should always eat something. Like because at some point you will feel the down, and then you will crash,
Yeah.
and then you will misplay. I can promise you that. And what I always do is like after 3 rounds or 4 rounds, I always like go to the bathroom, cold water in my face, and then dry it, of course, so I stay fresh. Like
Yeah.
after a shower or something. Because over the 9 rounds of Swiss, you will get tired at some point. And even if you get slightly tired, you will start misplaying. And sometimes a small misplay is enough to ruin your entire tournament. I can't talk about that too, because it's also an important fact that people underestimate. It's basically a discussion about 2-game format or best of 3, what is better, and so on. But yeah. These are my riches.
Yeah, that's very interesting to know, because I ask the competitive guests that we have in this podcast, especially the ones who are like finding ultra megatonic success on the scene, and I asked them about their rituals, what they do. Some of you guys have this kind of like the same. Some it's like completely the opposite, like what I said, like Ed, he doesn't eat, but I can't do that. But it's like whatever like really suits you and what works for you at the end of the day, right? But I do like what you mentioned when it comes to like shuffling, that does make a lot of sense, and I think I personally feel like I've been in that shoes before, where things get sticky and I'm just like so lazy. It's like my 3rd tournament already and I'm using the same sleeves still, and I don't wash my hands every game like you. So I feel like those are the reasons why sometimes I brick, or like my rabbits are always together, they go on vacation and I can't find any draw. It's either I find a lot of them or I don't find any of them at all. Yeah.
Of course, it's also random. We can always say it's random, but I'm so sure. Like you don't have to shuffle 2 minutes, of course, but that's just a number I said. Like most times, it's like rather 1 minute, but
it's a small things that can make a change.
Yeah, and then in the top cut we have infinite time, so you can shuffle as long as you want, I guess, as long as nobody is complaining. But what I know from just observing, many people are like just doing like a few times and then presenting the deck, and it doesn't work like that. First, your sleeves most sleeves are just too sticky. Like almost every deck I get from my opponents so sticky. I only cut the deck, and I can still feel it just by cutting the deck that the sleeves are sticky. But for example, during top cut, every of my opponent is shuffling my deck, so I also shuffle their deck.
Yeah.
And then I also just realized, like, I look away, but I can just feel how sticky the deck is. Guys, you're all not shuffling enough. I know. I watch people shuffle, and they don't shuffle enough. That's it's really a huge part why people break. But yeah.
Yeah. And what's your like go-to sleeves for these events? Do you have like a go-to one, or you don't really care as long as you have that ritual?
I don't really care, but I try to avoid sleeves that has double glossy sides, like the front and the back. Like my optimal sleeve that I just found out that they exist is matte in front and the back.
Yeah.
That's Dragon Shield. Apparently Dragon Shield has them. I haven't tested them yet. I have them in my back, but I have to test if they are good or not. So the reason why is if you have the surface of the glossy material just attracts more head and grime and whatnot, and it just sticks longer to that. So if you have like glossy on both sides, your sleeves will just get
Yeah,
stickier
just
faster.
so bad.
Like I make like a science out of that, you know. Like in Yu-Gi-Oh, for example, I use matte in front and back, and my sleeves stay like I could play like 3 majors with them because I wash my hands and they stay fresh like so long.
Yeah.
Like people sometimes I told them like, bro, I used this sleeves like for 3 regionals now. One time, a head judge came and did the deck check and then came back, and she was like, "These are the cleanest sleeves I've ever seen." I'm like, "Yeah, I used them for 3 regions as well." I was like, I was so sure because I was too lazy to actually re-sleeve them, and I was so sure I would get at least a warning because the sleeves are damaged or whatnot. But she said the sleeves are perfect. I'm like, wow. So yeah, I really like to use matte front and back just for the reason of the stickiness.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would always avoid the sleeves that has gloss in the front and the back because they are sticking really fast.
Yeah.
Namely, like KMC, for example. The shuffle feel of KMC is insane the first like 2 rounds, and after that, you can feel it. They get sticky already. Even if you wash your hands, doesn't matter. They get sticky already, and like after 5 rounds, they're done. So I
Yeah.
don't like them.
That's funny. Now, we've talked about these competitive stuff, and we're gonna go back to that again. But we kind of want to get to know more a little bit, or a little bit more about you. And I have a few questions here, if you don't mind. What pulled you into Lorcana? What is like the main, like major reason why? Okay, you're obviously finding a lot of success in Yu-Gi-Oh. Why are you playing another card game now? Is there something special about Lorcana that you found? Tell us about like why Lorcana.
Okay, so the first thing to note here is I reach like when people reach a certain point in whatever they're doing, it's not really about it's not really about the competing like about the topping anymore. Let's say in Yu-Gi-Oh, for example, many pro players right now are complaining about the price support, right? Some pros are not; they're just enjoying the competing, but not everybody. Like me and other pros, like world competitor Gabriel Netz, for example, right now, he will go to the Yu-Gi-Oh Worlds. He's also like really mad, and he won't grind the next season anymore. For example, the only thing that satisfies us right now is basically the win, or at least like the finals of a major. You know.
Yeah.
And after that, the only thing that would satisfy us would be like a good pricing, or at least something that rewards us for topping, but not topping deep, but like just topping like top 32 or whatnot. But in Yu-Gi-Oh, you get nothing. You get playmat, which is like nothing because people don't buy it.
Mm.
So you're sitting there, like you gave your best. You played like hundreds of hours testing before the event,
Yeah.
and you get top 32. You get outed by like some variants or maybe just a better player, whatnot, whatever reason. And you get home. You can be happy, of course, about your top 32. But at some point, when you have already so many top 32s, top 8s, whatever, you only get that playmat. You don't get satisfied anymore
Yeah.
for the amount you put in to the hobby. Of course, in the end, it's still a hobby, but you just feel bad. I'm just saying it because people, we are getting criticized right now because the people who are criticizing us are not at that level, to be
Yeah.
honest. And it's harsh to say, but again, if you get the top or a lot already, you don't care about the top 32 anymore. You want to win, but the variance is sometimes too high, or maybe it's not your day or not. And what drives me to test other games was mainly the prize pool at first.
Mm-hmm.
Like I tried One Piece first, but I never got a ticket. Like because the ticket system in Europe is you have to register for raffle to get a ticket, and I never won a single raffle. So I literally had 0 tickets for One Piece events. I'm like, how should I play this game if I don't get a single ticket?
Yeah.
For example, the European nets right now for One Piece was also raffle. There were 2 waves. I get 0 tickets, and guys from Asia and America are getting the tickets for our European nationals. I'm like,
Yeah.
what is this?
Yeah.
That's so unfair. So yeah, at some point I just said, yeah, I will try Lorcana. It's a new game. I like this name, and it looked interesting because normally what I dislike about card games of like resources is that sometimes they have resources that you need to draw, like lands and magic.
Yeah.
But Lorcana solved that really well, and I liked it. Also because the skill of inking your cards is also a thing that I really like, because it's not that easy sometimes to know what you have to ink, and it can be crucial. So I like that. So I just gave it a try, and of course the gold Mickey was a huge factor that I wanted to achieve. After the first tournament in DLC Bochum, I also realized, damn, the game is difficult. It's not that easy as it seemed.
Yeah.
But what I also realized was I cared more. I cared more about performing at that point, because suddenly I just wanted to get the invite, get to worlds when winning the worlds. At that point, I also decided to just go to every single DLC,
Yeah.
like just to give me the best chance of getting to that goal, and of course getting the Mickey. So I wanted the Mickey. I wanted the invite. I want to go to worlds, not because of the pricing, but because of just competing, just to be, I don't know, the best or the first
That's gotta
Lorcana
be so
player that
refreshing
wins
to feel
world.
again, right?
Exactly that. So I just get reminded of my starting days in Yu-Gi-Oh. But of course, I have like a huge boost because I know all the theory stuff and how to test and so on. Right? But it was such a nice feeling again to know, okay, now I can get the same thing again. I just grab the top, and yeah, that's what it's what get me hooked after the first tournament, and also something that I really enjoyed was the community, because people know it already, and it gets talked about a lot. But the community in Yu-Gi-Oh is really toxic, and of course everybody has their toxic moments. Me too. Like I'm not innocent in that. Like everybody, like even the biggest names, like Joshua Schmidt or something like Jesse Com, they have their salty moments, their toxic moments in Yu-Gi-Oh! But in Yu-Gi-Oh! There's no pricing. Like there's literally no pricing, and people are so toxic.
Yeah, it makes you
And in
even
this
more
game,
frustrated.
yeah, and in this game, I played 2 top 16 games for the Mickey Mouse, right?
Hmm.
And this was the chillest match ever. Like we played for 5 figures, and nobody like shocked. Nobody was like trying to be mean or trying to, like the whatever.
Yeah.
But it was so nice. It was really chill. I enjoyed. We had a lot of fun. We talked even, like we made jokes during the play, and I really enjoyed that. And the community itself was really nice. At every stage, I played set champs, which is basically Locust, right? Set champs and the DLC, and at any stage, it was so chill. I had 0 bad experiences, and that's also something that got me hooked. And right now, I'm staying for the community and just to perform and just to be one of the best Lorcana players there is. At least that's my goal. I don't see myself there yet. I need to qualify for Worlds first
Yeah.
to feel good about it,
Well,
because topping events is like a skill, yes, but it also sometimes feels like luck, in my opinion. So right now, I'm not convinced by myself.
well, if you're not convinced, let me just tell you this: if that was your goal, you're on your way to it. You're definitely taking the right steps to go towards that goal. And I just wanted to go back to everything you just said as well. Like like it's super frustrating for a lot of like card gamers and other card games when the pricing is not good, because it's like what you said, you know, you work so hard to get to top 32 and you get a playmat. It doesn't feel very rewarding except for bragging rights, right? Like the bragging rights
Exactly.
is nice, but it's also nice to feel rewarded in another way, because these events, they're not cheap. You got to
Yeah.
pay a lot of money for traveling, for accommodation, right, and food as well, and then the event itself, and also time. Like time is money as well, and just an ultra megatonic resource that even if it's not money, you could have been like spending that someplace else that could have brought you more joy other than just a simple bragging rights and a freaking playmat.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like when I was listening to that, that was already like for me when you said that, that was enough reason to like move to another card game. But I love how you followed it up with community, because I can't agree with you more. The community in Lorcana is just so nice. Going to like my LGSs here, I've been to Lille, and everyone is so friendly. We're here like playing for 5 figures, like what you said. Like, aren't we
Yeah.
supposed to be like looking at each other like with the eye of the tiger, you know? But we're here
Exactly.
laughing and we're socializing as we play, and we congratulate each other if the other one steps forward, even though that could be like the end of the road for us for that certain event. But yeah, I can't agree with you more. The community is amazing.
Yeah, I have even more reasons. I just remembered. So something that also really enjoy in this game is deck building, and the decisions you make in this game has way more weight than in Yu-Gi-Oh! In comparison. What I just realized. For example, my favorite tech card right now, right? Dig a little deeper.
Yeah.
That's a one-off, and one-off in Yu-Gi-Oh! Like that. A one-off that is not a key piece of a combo that is searchable, basically, is not important because it's random. You draw it at some point, but it's like whatever. It's like the game in Yu-Gi-Oh is so fast that the one-off doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
In this game, one-off shouldn't really matter, but it does because you draw so many cards because the game is so slow, and because I play stuff like Grand Matala, Develop Your Brain, and Hiram, and so on. I draw a lot of cards, and I see a lot of cards. So seeing the one-off is really crucial. Like putting one-offs in the deck is actually important because my opinion right now is they give you basically they can swing the games. Like I like to build my decks with playsets normally, but in this game I just realized if you basically have like 4 cards but cut one of the playset for a card that is similar, but they have kind of a different use case, it works out. It literally works out because
Yeah.
that card can carry you in certain situations. Of course, you have to argue about it, like if it's really worth it or not. But like for example, I play 3 Quill and 1 Greatstone Dragon
Yeah.
because I only want to play like 4 Quill cards for ramping items. And this one, the one Greatstone Dragon carried me some games, so it was fine for me. Of course, I don't even mind. Like, I could also play 4 Quills, but I just want to give an example that one of can be swinging in this game.
Yeah.
And that's what I really like about it, that the deck building here is rewarding you really heavily, like more than in Yu-Gi-Oh! And also, of course, the gameplay decisions have more impact because the game itself is really easy, quote unquote, right?
Yeah.
In comparison, it's just more easier. We cannot deny that.
Yep.
And because the game is so easy, every single choice you make is really crucial. Like you cannot, in my opinion, you cannot even throw a single play. Like if in hindsight, if you replay your game, there shouldn't be like one misplay if you want to top at the DLC because every single misplay can result in can make your win into a draw or lose. And a draw in this game is almost like a lose. So you basically lost the entire match because it's a 2 game format, not best of 3. So we have to be really careful about that. And I really like that because in this game we have also more time because it's turn-based, right? It's like pass, ink,
Yeah.
pass. I can really lock in. In Yu-Gi-Oh, I can also lock in, but since the game is so fast, sometimes you can overlook something, or maybe a small effect and that can screw you over. But in this game, everything is like really nice and on the field and so on. It's not that much you have to concentrate on,
Yeah.
and I can really lock in and plan ahead. Like I see my hand, I can plan ahead, like 3 turns ahead while my opponent's playing and so on. This is really nice, and I enjoy that. And yeah, that's how I play Yu-Gi-Oh right now. But in Lorcana, it just works better for me at least. Like
Yeah.
when I play, for example, on stream, I was locked in. I was like playing. I didn't even realize at some point that this is game 2 and I'm about to win, or like game 3 and so on. I just played. Like I don't have that in Yu-Gi-Oh, to be honest. Like in Lorcana, I'm so locked in, and I don't know exactly why, but yeah, that's what I enjoy so much about it right now.
I think one of the things a good comparison for Lorcana is like how easy it is to pick up. It's like chess, right? Where it's so easy to pick up, but every single move, especially as you enter mid game, matters. One mistake
Yes.
of like one piece that you move can be okay. That was it. Now you're about to get punished. You didn't notice this. You didn't notice that. But doing that was so easy. And watching your opponent do what they do is super easy as well. But understanding it on a deeper level is much harder than most people think. And that's what I like about Lorcana. It's easy to pick up and understand, but really hard to master.
Exactly. And it's also a big, there's again the community aspect. Like I went to my local store once, and I just saw like kids or like parents with their kids picking up the game, and the kid itself, like they played an aggro deck because it was easy, but they could play it. If you play Yu-Gi-Oh, even at a local level, and you wanna get like top 4 locals at a decent local, you have no chance. You have literally no chance. The meta decks are so difficult, and even local players are all playing meta. Of course, if you are playing at the casual locals, it's not a problem, but most locals are like full of meta players. Even if they are not playing perfectly, it doesn't matter if you are new. They just will stomp you.
Yeah.
It's not even close. Like you cannot win. You will start Yu-Gi-Oh, maybe have like a training day and to learn the game itself. You will get 04 or 05 at
Yeah.
the first local.
Um,
No, it's like not even close.
I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh as well, but like I played the ancient Yu-Gi-Oh like back on early 2000s where things are much simpler, right? You play the
Yeah,
mystical
like
elf and then summon skull and then like, yeah, I got it out, you know, like that was a great feeling. Or even if you just like do a fusion back then, it's like, did I really just do that? Like win or lose, I'm already like happy
yeah.
because I got to do that in the game. And I tried to pick it up about a few years ago when the app first came out on the phone.
Mhm.
And it's a complete different game. It's no
It is
longer the
completely
same.
different. The main attraction is that Yu-Gi-Oh has no resources. You can play combo decks. You can play sometimes really exciting games because you have all the different kind of interactions that other games don't have because the game is so fast.
Mhm.
But that same aspect gives so many people the frustration because it's really fast. Like for myself, I accepted it a long time ago. Like I don't mind if a Yu-Gi-Oh game is only 2 rounds. But of course, if you're a new player, you start the game, it will like scare you.
Yeah.
The game's literally many matches are 2 rounds.
Yeah.
Your round, and then it's your opponent's round. If they cannot break the board, they lost.
Yeah.
It's like that.
And it's a lot of like memorizing too. It's like what you said with the spreadsheet earlier. Like if you want to get into it now, it's not like the old Yu-Gi-Oh or Lorcana right now. Let's get into it. Okay, I inked this. I played this. Now you have to memorize. Okay, it's like a puzzle. And in order to get out the other big pieces, you need to do this certain thing. Search this in your library. But it has changed a lot. Now my next question for you, getting to know you a little bit more, is this is more on the casual side now. Do you collect as well in Disney Lorcana? Do you buy products for every set that comes out, or are you more of like a single type of person? You don't really mind if you have a play set of everything, or even just a one of everything.
So my first goal was to use my winnings, like of course to win first something, and then use that winnings to make a master set. So having a playset of every card to
Yeah.
just basically be able to build every deck, since we also don't have Pixelborn anymore. But then I just said like, I think I would just concentrate on the meta decks.
Yeah.
And normally what I do like in card games is I just buy the singles I need.
Mm-hmm.
I don't buy like collections or whatever. I don't buy promos. But to be honest, in Lorcana, since I enjoy that so much and I wanna go more in depth in the game, I started to buy stuff. So I also bought the 23 promo pack that you did
Yeah.
in the
Right here.
background. Yeah, just to collect, like not even resell. Just I even paid a premium because I don't want to go to the Disney World or whatever
Yeah.
to get it. So I pay a premium to get it, and yeah, I bought that. I keep some of the promos too. Maybe you saw some posts, like I have a bunch of promos that I won. I also bought
Yeah.
some of the promos or traded for them, so I have playsets.
Nice.
Yeah, I also collect, so that's really cool about the
Yeah.
game. And also the cards look insane. Like the cards are so beautiful.
Yeah.
I don't like the early enchanters so much because they look like a
Kind of all
computer
over the
render
place.
picture. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it doesn't look that great. But the new enchanters are insane. Like I really wanna collect all the new enchanters, to be honest. Like at least one
Yeah.
of each. Not even playset, I think, because I probably won't play every single one. Maybe the Mufasa one, I don't know yet.
The
But yeah,
Mufasa one
I
is
really would
beautiful.
like to. Yeah, I really want to collect them. And else, a fun fact: I only play a non-foil besides Enchanted, of course, because the Sisu I want to play an Enchanted, for example. But everything else I play in non-foil. Has two reasons. First, in Yu-Gi-Oh, non-foil was so much cheaper than going for the high rarity.
Yeah.
And second, the foil cards, even though I double sleeve with inner sleeves, they warp a bit, and I don't like that.
Okay.
You are marking yourself. You are marking your cards if you have like mixed non-foils and foils at some point. Like it depends how high the humidity is at your place, but yeah, sometimes they just warp too much, and then you have to bend them back every single time, and I don't like that, so I just play non-foils
Yeah.
because they stay straight normally if you don't mess it up. And yeah, that's also a big reason why I play that. And else, I also started to collect merch, which I never did. Like I have the cap instead of
Oh,
the Rapunzel promo. I just got the cap. I have two T-shirts now from the two events because
nice.
I got them for the feature matches.
Yeah.
What else? Yeah, and of course I have the badge, right? I collect all the badges.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, at some point I will also start streaming or something, and then I have all this stuff in the background, like
Oh,
you.
that's nice.
And yeah, that would be nice. And then
Yeah.
I can also show some stuff of my collection.
Well, when you start streaming, I'm just gonna let our viewers know that all of Kang's socials are gonna be down there on the description below. So make sure to check that out and watch some top tier gameplay. But I love how you like from other card games you haven't done this, and Disney Lorcana sparked this like collector side of you. I remember when I was in Lille, I really wanted the shirt and a hat, but they ran out so fast. So
Oh,
I got
really?
the two Rapunzels instead because I only did one side event. I performed terribly in Lille. That was like 1 week after all the baby stuff happened. I had no practice.
Yeah,
I went there to have a
understandable.
good time, you know. So I was technically undefeated. I got 1 win and 8 draws.
Oh, destroyed me.
That's funny. And we can go back to it again and discuss it. Let's go through the whole six first. But that's that's a really funny answer. Number 2, Amethyst. 10 seconds.
France,
It's on the other
draw
side.
two.
Yeah. Number 3, Emerald.
Diablo.
Diablo.
The new Diablo.
Yeah, the big one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 4, Ruby.
Be prepared.
Okay. Number 5, Sapphire.
Yeah, Hiram.
Hiram. Number 6, Steel.
A whole new world.
Okay. So a lot of your answers have been the same as everyone, but there's one unique answer here. And that is Piglet on Amber. And you just hate the card. Because you had a bad experience with it, and I can see that I had some bad experiences with Piglet as well.
Like the other answers were like, it's like reasonable stuff, but the Piglet was just pure spite.
That's really funny. That's really funny. That's the first time we got Piglet, and I gotta feel sorry for Piglet being banned for this segment. The next segment that we're gonna go to it's also a 10-second segment. This one is called the favorite card segment. There can be many reasons why this is your favorite card. When you answer the question, there's 5 questions. It could be something that you just really like and enjoy. It brings you joy when you play this card, or maybe there's some technical reasons. But yeah, it's all up to you why you would pick that card. Kind of like how you banned Piglet, poor Piglet.
Okay.
Yeah. So the number 1 question is, what's your favorite character card to play? 10 seconds.
Tamatoa.
Tamatoa.
Wait, you want reasons or no? Just the card,
right? We can discuss this one. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Tamatoa, because in every card game I play, there has like resources and where you can play control. I like playing a deck where you control and have like a boss monster in the end. And right now it's Tamatoa, so I really like it.
I like that. I like the way you look at the Tamatoa. It's kind of like the boss win condition for your
Exactly.
deck.
Like you show red, blue to someone like Ruby, Sapphire, it's like Tamatoa in the front,
Yeah. The next one is 10 seconds to answer as well. This is not including enchanted cards. What is your favorite character art?
Also art of DLC.
Any character art except for like the enchanted ones. So the enchanted promos can't count.
Because there's none for Rapunzel, right?
Are you talking about just the Amber Rapunzel?
Exactly.
Yeah. The forecast, not the enchanted promo one.
Okay, then would be Diablo, the 3-cost Diablo.
The 3-cost Diablo, yeah, that is pretty nice. It doesn't feel like the Diablo character from Disney. It's like this complete different Diablo from a whole new world.
He looks really cool. Like he looks like a bird on flames or something, and green flames or that.
Yeah, I like that answer. Now this one is gonna be much harder because there's already a lot of like cool enchanteds. This one is your favorite enchanted cards, and this is including the enchanted promos from tournaments.
The new ones, right? Set 5.
Including the new ones from set 1 to set 5. Even the enchanted promos from DLCs can count.
Probably Let It Go. I'd probably say Let It Go, because like blue is my favorite color, and I love the blue-white scheme of a color scheme, and Let It Go just looks nice in that regard, especially because the full art and the snow and ice goes around the entire card. I really like that.
Yeah, it's pretty refreshing. Pretty refreshing. I like that answer. This one is your favorite song card. Whether to play, or maybe you just love the art. Maybe
dig a little deeper.
Dig a little, yeah. I should have known the answer. I should have known the answer for that. By the way, I just want to tell you this. Like, this reminded me of I was watching this with my friends when that card was shown, and we're like, huh? And then we'd like try to understand it more, because like the first impression, and this is not just me. I can speak for like the 90%, maybe 99% of the Lorcana community, that when we saw that card, it's like, huh? and then
Yeah.
if you're competitive, then you look at it again. Because how is King getting success with this card in his deck? And we're like, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of
The card
sense.
literally says, people think there's an 8 in the top,
Yeah,
in the top corner. It literally says 0. So it
yeah, yeah. Basically,
literally says cost 0.
and
Just add any 2 cards of your deck, basically.
yeah, and what it does is so much. Once you
Yeah.
get it to play. Plus, there's only one of anyways, right? So it's not really a risk of like, oh, it's gonna break my whole hand. All right.
I'm thinking about playing 2 though. Maybe.
maybe. The last one, and this I think applies to you more because the other players usually would have one or two of these. What is your favorite item card?
Ooh. Probably Popsicle. I like the artwork. I
Mhm.
like the story behind it of the in Lumania, and yeah, I really like the card itself. It's so versatile.
Yeah.
A high rim target, and yeah, the healing also comes up like more often than I thought at the beginning. Like I thought at the beginning the healing never comes up, but it actually comes up.
Yeah.
So I really
Like
like that.
with Maui's and stuff, after you hit something big, you heal with Maui. Now their board can't trade with the Maui without like losing value. But those are great answers. I like that a lot. I was really curious with the item because you play that deck so much, and I was wondering. In my head, it could be a tie between Popsicle and Dime, but I do like your answer with the Popsicle.
Like let's say that I draw my starting hand. I see dime, I cry. I see popsicle, I'm happy.
Yes,
That's why
it
I
brings you
answer.
so much joy.
Yeah. Every time you see dime in the first 5 rounds or so, you cry.
Yeah, yeah. All right, this next thing that we're gonna talk about, we've done a couple of fun segments. I want to talk about, this is probably what a lot of our viewers are waiting for right now, is set 5. What is next for Kang in set 5? Do we stay with red blue and keep honing it? And if so, you don't have to reveal your secrets. Maybe you can just tell us the potential of the deck or some new cards that are going to go into this.
Okay. So I have to be honest, I haven't tested set 5 that much. I watch all the videos. Like I watch a lot of Lorcana videos, and I watch other people's testing set 5. But myself, I haven't tested it yet because I will play Toronto, which is after the Baki errata, but before set 5. So we are still playing set 4, which is so weird because it's literally that format.
I know.
But I have to concentrate on that right now. Although it's almost the same error, so I don't even know if I need it to. For set 5, I honestly try to test every single deck. So I will test the entire collection
Mm-hmm.
of decks that is possible. Like even though, for example, I hate aggro, I don't want to play it. It's so boring for me, and even if aggro would be tier 0, I wouldn't enjoy playing it. So I probably won't even play it. But I want to try it at least once, see how Daisy performs, and
Yeah.
and then just test it out. So right now, my friends told me that aggro is not that crazy because everybody's attacking for that.
Yeah.
Although the mirror match are horrible, because it's literally that is really literally dice roll, and you will split if you play the mirror normally.
Yeah.
Um, so what I heard right now is red blue is decent. It's actually better than people thought it would be because everybody in the beginning said like, "Oh no, Daisy and aggros everywhere," right? But
Yeah.
red blue or like red can always tech against aggro. We have like the uninkable Zisu, which I actually don't really like that much because it's uninkable, but you can play her to contest a lot because first it's a body on the field and second just can one-shot Daisy.
Yeah.
So it's really good. Or other aggro stuff. And then after that trade with something else. So that is really cool. You can also poker that people that want to try counter steal song will get the upper hand. counter aggro with Steel Song will get the upper hand, and then you will farm the Steel Songs
Yeah.
with the red blue, which I kind of did in Texas. Funny enough, I didn't expect that. I didn't even expect so many Steel Songs. So many people were playing Steel Song
Yeah.
at the top table, where they just beat the red purple players like straight up 2-0 because they just played an aggro version
Yeah.
of Steel Song, and that just beats Steel Song, not even close. Red purple,
Yeah.
and I suddenly just farmed them, so that was funny.
Yeah.
You can like gamble on that people will play a lot of Steel Song next meta because Steel Song has a really solid matchup spread. It literally wins against everything besides red blue, and red blue is not popular, so
Yeah.
I expect a lot of Steel Song, for example, for Vegas and Birmingham. So you can just take like red blue and play that. But yeah, I also want to try Steel Song myself because I actually like, let's say, theme decks,
Yeah.
and the theme of the deck is singing, which is super unique to this game, right? You don't have that in other games
No.
in that capacity. So I really enjoy having like princesses sing songs, and it synergizes so well because it's like just a bunch of singers that can sing like 5 chords and so on.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy that, playing a theme deck in card games. So
Yeah.
I also looked into Steel Song because it got like insane tools of Daisy and Naveen. Although Daisy maybe is over the top because you play way too many uninkables, and also since people are expecting Pete,
Yeah.
they are playing a more character heavy deck, and then you are giving your opponent like character
Yeah.
every time, and I don't know if that's that great.
It,
I have to test more. So
it
right now, in theory, it seems like overrated, kind
yeah.
of. Of course, she's super strong, but she's not like tier 0 meta warping stuff that
No.
people were afraid of.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's funny you said that because I played 5 decks so far in my stream last week, and all of my decks are character heavy because of I just like having free cards from
yeah, exactly. And then Daisy kind of backfires if you have like, because everybody is teching for Daisy, right?
yeah.
And then she maybe only quests twice, but at that, while she's questing twice, she gave you 2 cards for inking and stuff, and then you just get rid of her. I don't know. It seems like kind of weird. You can also play a character heavy red blue if you want to, like the small Sisu, and more big Sisus. Like
Yeah.
just don't play so many preps, for example, and then maybe don't play so many brawls, and just play straight up removals. Maybe play like the Gaston, for example, the
Yeah.
4-2 and so on, and then suddenly you can just get
Shift.
characters every time she quests, and then you can also shift. For example, yeah, exactly. You play the small Sisu first, and then you ramp like Quill into the big Sisu, and then just wipe the entire field.
Yeah.
Can also be possible.
And in terms of ramping as well, blue got a lot of I don't know if you've I know you're preparing for Toronto, but
Yeah, the Tipo and so on.
yeah, there's the Tipo. Maybe it can be considered as well. The 5 cost Donald Duck as well. There's just like these choices now that basically works towards your goal of ramping, but at the same time you don't lose too much tempo on the board with these characters that can help you ramp. But I, I know that you're like going to Toronto, but I really like wanted to pick your brain like in terms of like set 5. So I'm just gonna say this right now, and everyone's thinking about it. We don't like what's going on Toronto. All right, no one likes this where one deck is completely out of the meta because of the errata that happened. At the same time, we're not allowed to play the new set. It just does not feel good. Ravensburger, if you're listening, I love you, and you know that. But please don't do this again.
It is so weird that they did that. Like they planned, they said they planned 12 sets ahead, right? And also the challenges. So it's like planned like probably a year ago, and they know that it will suck. That we have to play like a dead format, and they still like went with that. They
Yeah.
could have like just postpone it by 1 week, or like just make an exception for Toronto and just say, yeah, Toronto is fine. Like you can play set 5.
Yeah.
I don't know why they did that. It's like so weird because we had to play so many DLCs in set 4 that feels like kind of unbalanced, because now in for set 5 we have like 2, right? We have the Birmingham Vegas, and I don't even know, Seattle one is still in set, still in set 5.
Yeah, set 5.
Right? And then we have 2, and after that we have the Continentals.
Yeah.
Potentially you've set 6 without any events, so it's like crazy.
Yeah, I hope that when Continentals happen and there's a new Continentals and World and there's a new set that came out, I hope they're not gonna not make us play that. And I really hope that next year for the DLCs that there's enough feedback from people like that wants that we want to play the new set. If you have to delay the thing 1 week further, that's totally fine. But let us play the new cards, because it's not just fun. Like also for a person like you, or there's a lot of people that does this, that goes to multiple DLCs. Now you're a few weeks behind when it comes to training for the next set.
The worst part is the side events are set 5. So if I like drop out, I don't even have the cards for set 5 right now. I have to go to the vendor, buy it, and I don't even know my build, right? So I have to throw something together, which I don't even mind. Like I can't just have fun at side events, but I literally have to buy cards and throw them together and just make a set 5 build somehow in like a few minutes.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, well, I just wanted to say thank you for doing this. I had so much fun interviewing you, getting to know you a bit more, and just talking about competitive stuff and some fun stuff as well. There's so much that I want to talk to you about more, and I think we're gonna save that for the future stuff. Maybe for the interview for the first world champion, right? Like that could be a thing. Yeah, and it's not impossible with the steps that you're doing. I mean, after all, you are the very first person in the history of Disney Lorcana who has qualified for both continents, and I think that's legendary. And especially like I think that this game, it has so much potential with its IP, the gameplay, and everything that they've been doing so far. It has so much potential of sticking around for a long time, and this is history right here, getting to, like what I said, talk to you, being the first one to ever done that. So I just want to thank you really quick for doing that. Also, I just want to tell our audience again, I said this earlier and I'm gonna say it again. Make sure to click down on the description below and check out the links for Kang's socials. So when he starts streaming, you can check it out. And also his Twitter is going to be there, and maybe other socials that he wants to be there. So you can see his journey onto becoming possibly the first world champion of Disney Lorcana. Kang, before we get off, is there anything you want to tell our audience before we end this?
Of course. So everything I said about the competitive side of Lorcana is, sometimes it kind of sounds arrogant, I would say, because there's a harsh reality you have to face when you really want to perform consistently. You have to get rid of so many habits and stop doing stuff that is fun, because testing efficiently is not fun. It's literally homework.
Yeah.
It's literally doing homework. It's really tedious sometimes. Depends on the game, of course. Like in YuGiOh, it's super tedious. It's like super boring. Because you have to test scenarios instead of testing games. I do that in Lorcana too. It's sometimes really boring, so I try to avoid it right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you want, like I do that. I sometimes talk a bit harsh about the reality of the competitive side, so people just know what they have to do. And if you want more help, of course, just DM me. I also offer coaching and so on. Just DM me and my socials, and I can probably help you out.
Awesome. Yeah, I totally agree with you. Sometimes doing the next step to becoming one of the greatest can just be very harsh, and we just have to accept that. And when that's done, when we're off that screen, or when we're off that table, then we go back to being who we are as a person in general. But again, thank you very much, Kang, for doing this. I appreciate it a lot. And if you guys haven't done it yet, don't forget to smash that like, subscribe, and bell button, and comment down below. And again, one more time, description, links, Kang. Check him out on his socials. Other than that, I will see you guys on the next video. Peace.
Bye-bye.